Hey gamers, I'm the Bad Luck Gamer, and we're back with another Why This Class is Awesome here in the series that's really kick-starting off this channel. First of all, I want to say thank you all so much for the support you've been showing me in the chat, in our recent videos, as well as in the comments, the live streams we've been doing. It makes me feel really, really good. And I'm just going to say, like I've been saying, that if you like this content, please subscribe or whatever you do to see more content like this. It helps motivate me, and also make sure that my content is more likely to, with the algorithm as it is, not 100%, but it's more likely to make its way across your homepage there on YouTube. It really helps out. There's been a lot of things. First of all, I want to thank everyone because my Bard video has now officially overtaken my most watched video over a Town of Salem video that should never have been there. Uh, I've set the benchmark that if any other video gets past that weird video that the algorithm must have helped me with, then that means I'm at least beating out the algorithm for a small channel, and that makes me feel good. So thank you all so much for watching that Bard video and all the other videos you guys decide to watch as well. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. Oh, also, if you want to see some fun clips from my journey from this last year trying to stream and now produce content on YouTube, next week on Tuesday is the anniversary video that I'm going to be posting out. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get into the class for this week, which is going to be Oracle. Now, those who are familiar with Pathfinder know that the Oracle has always been a strange class. It's a class that gives you some buffs for some penalties, and it's always a class that's been a little funky, in my opinion. But after reading into it and really taking into account what makes the Oracle really shine and why they keep putting it out there, I gotta say, Oracle is great. Oracle is really, really good. We'll have a counter maybe for my really, really goods. And I'm going to tell you why in this video. So first and foremost, the reason why you pick an Oracle in the first place is going to be the mysteries. The mysteries are what make the Oracle unique. And honestly, it makes Oracle the most dynamic class in the game. No joke. Because of how the mysteries work, you have to change your playstyle completely. The mysteries give you bonuses, really good bonuses, at the cost of some penalties. Now, this is great for roleplay. The source of your mystery is fantastic for your GM to help set you up with. Oracles always have that off kind of like other feeling to them, makes them really, really good. And there's so many things about the mysteries that are good. Here, a couple examples I can give is Ancestry gives you 2 additional Ancestry feats. You get an additional feat at 1st level and another feat at 11th level. This is so good. There's so many Ancestries out there that have such good feats, and the fact that it gives you an additional 1st level feat is phenomenal. Not a lot of classes can even match that kind of bonus that it gives to the character, and it's really good. The only thing is you might be possessed by grandpa sometimes. You might just be out there getting ready to heal your friend with magic, and then all of a sudden you're possessed by a man who has had too many perms and needs to take a shit, but he gives you a bonus in either attacking or diplomacy or whatever. Ancestry is really weird, but those 2 extra feats are worth it, trust me. Another one is Cosmos. Cosmos is great because it gives you innate damage resistance to all physical damage equal to 2 plus half your level at the price of becoming like the metaphysical equivalent of a plastic bag. As you become enfeebled, eventually you start becoming weightless and people can just throw you around really easy. I love the idea of the Cosmos Oracle. Is just they're so light and weightless that when you attack them, they just get blown away by your punch, but all the air cushions it, so they get that damage resistance. It's really good. And see, that's the thing. Like, for something like Cosmos that just makes you enfeebled, if you're not melee attacking, it doesn't matter. All the penalties are always super like circumstantial, and they're not over encompassing, unlike their benefits, which are always useful, like additional feats, or in the case of Cosmos, straight up damage reduction. By the way, they get more health than the Wizard and Sorcerer because fuck them, they're the only two caster classes that get nerfed like that. So tough luck. Now, I did learn recently in a video that focus points work a little differently than I thought. I did not know that when you refocused, you can only do it once between use of focus points. So if you have 2 focus points starting out, let's say, and you use those both in the first combat, you can only refocus for one of those focus points. So for the rest of the day, you only get 1 focus spell per combat. That is it. I say it's up in the air whether one way is better than the other, but what's really good about Oracle is that as your curse gets worse, you get better refocus. You don't have to spend feats like other classes do on the refocus ability to gain more of your focus points back, making Oracle really, really good for their main thing, which is using some of the strongest focus spells in the game, which we'll get to here in a second, and they can just get extra focus points back as a part of their class features. It's a good baked-in feature, and honestly, it makes the whole focus spell orientation of the class work a lot better. I just wish that they got them a little bit earlier, but that's a small complaint. I mentioned earlier, their focus spells are some of the best in the game, and by far, they are. First of all, straight out the gate, all oracles, you get 2 focus spells. You get 2 focus spells that you can throw out during the first combat or whatever, as I mentioned before. In the example, you get your oracle focus spell and you get a domain focus spell based on one of the 2 domains that each of the mysteries gives. Meaning that you just get an extra spell slot, unlike other spellcasters who get normally just 1 focus spell. Oracle can technically cast another spell at first level than other characters can. It's really good, and if you're human, you can get a 3rd one with the Domain Initiates feat that they can pick up, getting yet another focus spell for 3 at level 1 if you're playing a human. That's really solid. And I got some examples. There's too many to count for the Oracle focus spells, so I'm just going to go over a couple that I really, really like. First is Armor of Bones. It gives you that Diablo 2 goodness, that feeling of wrapping yourself up in bones, because that's a fantasy that some people subscribe to. Not me, but whatever. It's really good though. It gives you resistance to several kinds of damage, and as you level up, that resistance increases 1 per spell level, meaning that you get, like, I think by the end you can get up to 13 damage resistance for several types of damage. I believe it's the elemental damage types, which is really good. Super aesthetic for the bone mystery, I'll tell you. But the next 2 feats next 2 focus spells, not feats. Well, one requires you get a feat, but the next 2 are a combo that you can't see in any other class, which is Incendiary Aura, which is fantastic. If any enemy within 30 feet of you takes 10 feet of you, 10 feet of you, it's a 10-foot emanation, within 10 feet of you, takes damage from one of your fire spells, they are ignited, taking extra damage. And then speaking of that, Flaming Fusillade, their most advanced focus spell from Flame, you can produce flame with a single action. It is the only class that gets a really good cantrip that they can cast with every single action. And in combination with Incendiary Aura, you are literally just tossing flames and causing people to burst into holy flame. I keep saying flame a lot. Hit people with fire to suddenly burst into flame. There you go. Those are words, but it's really cool, super aesthetic, and there's really nothing you can do to compete with that as far as spellcasting is concerned. And by the way, as far as spellcasting is in general, whoo boy, Oracle is actually one of the strongest spellcasters, but I'll get to that in a second. Hold your breath. Don't do that because this video might be 20 minutes long and then you'll die. And then you can't watch any of my other videos. But wait, there's more. I actually lied earlier. There's another focus spell I really want to talk about. It's actually the most hidden OP focus spell in the game, and that is Brain Drain. Brain Drain is so good because when you hit someone with it and you fail the check, you make a recall knowledge using their recall knowledge skill on something based on their memories. It does mental damage, which is not very commonly resisted, but the hidden OP thing is if you captured a bandit and you got him tied to a chair, you can mental damage them and ask them who their boss is, and they'll have to roll a society roll or a roll dictated by the DM, using their stats, of course. So if they're really, really dumb, it doesn't help you. But your average person will at least give you some kind of roll, and your GM can set the DC, but you can literally steal information from someone's head, or just the terrible headache from the focus spell is torture enough, I'm sure. But it's really good outside of combat as much as it is inside of combat, and I think that's really cool. All right, so same story as many of the other classes. There's too many feats for me to go through each and every one, so I'm just going to talk about some of my favorite ones. I hope you enjoy. Glean Lore allows you to ask the deities about, well, your mystery. You can ask a question and you use your religion as your omni skill for recall knowledge checks based on your situation. Now your DM can curate this information, make sure it's not a broken skill or super OP, but you can use this an unlimited number of times. It only uses one action, so it can be done in combat, and it lets you roll your religion for everything. So, you know, I think the more practical uses is you glean lore on something related to your mystery, and the DM can up the DC based on how far away the subject is removed from your mystery. So if you're asking about fire elementals and you're a flame mystery oracle, you can roll that religion and probably make it with just that. But if it's a water elemental, you might have to make a much more significant higher check to do so. I think it's good. It's a good way to flavor recall knowledge in a way that other classes can't. And honestly, it makes your oracle feel even better. Vision of Weakness, no joke, is literally the best focus spell in the game. And I'll tell you why. Literally, you use it, there's no save, and you find all the weaknesses of a target. Or if they don't have weaknesses, or because I do believe they do make a check against this. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, it doesn't matter because you will find their lowest save automatically. Yeah, there's no check. You learn all their weaknesses and their lowest save. And this is phenomenal. For those of you who are not using combat maneuvers, shame on you, because trip, grapple, shove, I guess, all really good. You can make you focus on enemies' weaknesses in tandem with the use of this focus spell, and you can really learn how to mess your enemies up really good. It's solid. No other focus spell can really give you advantages like that. Plus, you learn all the weaknesses, and weaknesses, for anyone who hasn't told you, are super strong because you just have to hit a target with these items and you automatically proc the weakness. It's solid. Divine Access gives Oracle the most spell variety of any other repertoire caster in the game. They're a repertoire divine caster, and one of the good things about Divine Access is the fact that it allows you to pick up the extra spells that a deity associated with one of your mysteries traits, one of their domains, there it is, and you can get their spells. Like Saren Ray is a good example because Saren Ray gives you access to Flaming Hands, Fireball, and Firewall. All of them are really good spells. And you can take Divine Access as many times as you want, selecting a different god. And by the way, every domain has like 8 gods associated with them. So this allows you to pick and choose a lot of spells that you can possibly add to your repertoire. If you really want to make a super diverse spellcaster for Oracle, and some of the other feats are not calling to you, Divine Access is perfect. And the last one I'm going to talk about is, again, as with every video, late game feats that most characters might not get access to, but still, they're really cool. And if you get this late level, oh boy. And this is why I said earlier that oracles make some of the best spellcasters in the game in general, even more than your wizard. Because, sorry, unlimited power belongs to those whose minds have been broken by the vastness of reality. And that's going to be Blaze of Revelation. Blaze of Revelation is really good because it allows you, if you would become overcome by your curse, you suppress the effects of being overcome for a minute. And each round, you can use one of your Oracle, not Domain, but Oracle focus spells without increasing your Oracle curse and not spending a focus point. Oh boy, at that level, all your Oracle spells are going to be like level 8, 9, or even 10. You are just blasting the enemies with level 10 spells every round. No other class does this. It's really good. It's so good. It's so solid. You're just blasting people, and after a minute, you become overcome by your curse. But like, I'll tell you, most combats don't last a whole 10 rounds anyway. So for one combat a day, you are God, and everyone is your bitch. But I'm going to give you an additional to this one, Mystery Conduits. Mystery Conduit is the level 20 feat that goes in tandem with Blaze of Revelation, where you can use 5th level or lower spell slots without using the spell slot, and in fact, you just increase your curse. Now, Blaze of Revelation says that when you would become overcome by your curse, it activates. So, Mystery Conduit can activate it, meaning that you can still retain your other focus points for the rest of the day if you really you can't, because once you get doesn't matter, because Mystery Conduit allows you to throw in extra spells, keep extra spell slots if you have a different use or you have a different need. And honestly, the two together just makes Oracle one of the strongest spellcasters in the game, because you just say you proc it all with just Mystic Conduit, right? Or Mystery Conduit. You get 4 spells, 4 5th level spell slots free. 4 5th level spell slots free. And then you can use your focus spells for the entire use of your Blaze of Revelation. And then after that combat, when you can no longer use your Revelation spells, you still have you still have all your 5th level spell slots. Really good. Solid. I can't tell you enough that it's solid. You just can't. I'm rambling. Sorry. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you all have gotten a little bit more information on the Oracle. I find that they're actually a really powerful class. They do come with downsides when it comes to their mysteries and how their curses work. But honestly, those situations are super niche or very circumstantial, while the benefits that the class offers are always going to be beneficial in all situations. 2 additional feats, innate damage resistance, even fire with the ability to boost your reflex saving throws. Compared to other oracles, you're going to be a god in avoiding fireballs and such like they are. And honestly, with Flame, it makes a lot of sense, since you can fireball yourself and possibly get away with it too if you succeed your saving throw. So, it's oracles are really fantastic, super flavorful. They just give you a more dynamic and diverse way to play that other classes cannot provide. So, if you have anything else you want to add to the discussion, please leave it in the comments. Join us at our Discord in the description below to talk about other cool Pathfinder things, or to possibly game with us in the future, as I always recruit from my Discord for any of my games. So you can check us out there. We also stream like 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So 4 days a week. We are streaming 4 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, except for Thursday for our Table Talk, which is 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can check us out there on your favorite platform of Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And yeah, that's all I got to say. Good luck with your games. Leave the bad luck to me. And I'll catch you all next time. Goodbye.